Hey everybody, my name is Sherry Sutton and I am your marketing mentor. Happy Thursday. I usually do this Q&A on Tuesdays, but I took a little mini vacation. I was in Orlando, Florida, photographing the amazing Marissa from Allure. It's a great web design firm. I'm also her marketing mentor. And so it was so fun to get to take her pictures as well. And so while I was down there, I figured I'd take a few days and hang out on the beach. So we're doing this a few days late, but I hope you don't mind. All right. So one thing that I get asked a lot is, just how do I make sure that I'm really doing everything that I can on Instagram? So I wanted to talk about that today. And specifically, I want to talk about Instagram stories. I have to admit that when, a year or so ago, when I first started really diving into them, I was like, Instagram stories, like no one watches those anymore. And that's absolutely not true. The more and more research I do, the more impactful I find that stories are. And so I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of stories and how to utilize them best in your overall social media planning. So the first thing that I want to give you as a tip for your stories is to take a break. I actually saw somebody else who is like a social media guru talk about this today. Sometimes the best thing you can do on social media is to take a break because it kind of resets the algorithm around you. So let everything you've got right now expire. Remember that stories only stay live for 24 hours. And then give yourself another 24 hours before you post something else. So that's my first tip. My second tip for stories is to make sure you're using engagement stickers. If you don't know what those are, Google it and you can see it. There's a little sticker up on the top. It looks like, I don't know how to describe what it looks like. I think it's got like a little smiley face on it. So when you're making your story, you can put an engagement sticker onto your story. The great thing about that is that you can put a link that goes directly to your landing page, your email, wherever you want to send people, which you're not able to do in regular posts on Instagram. So it's an incredibly useful tool from that perspective. Again, we don't have the chance to connect with people with a direct link when we're doing just sort of regular posts or reels. So stories is the one place where we're able to do that on Instagram. So one cool strategy that I see people doing with that is they'll do a post or even a reel, and it'll be like, hey, here's this thing we got. Check out my story for a link on how to get there. Right? And then you make a story with the same thing. You put a link right in the story, and then they're able to go to your website. So they're not having to visit your bio or Google for the information. So that's a really effective way to use stories using those stickers. The other cool sticker that's out there, there's a poll sticker, which is really, really cool. Right now, it only has two options, sort of yes or no, blue or purple or whatever you're, whatever you're trying to ask people. The cool thing is that Instagram's going to be launching the ability to have more than two questions, and you'll be able to customize them more readily. So you could do things like, tell me which of these 4 titles sound the best, or whatever that might be. And so you're able to get much clear direction from your people and engage with them in a much more substantial way because you're able to customize those, and you can make it fun or whatever is most appropriate for your story. So using those stickers is my second tip for the day. My third tip for stories is that they're not just for behind the scenes. And that's something that maybe that's just an old sense. I mean, I still see that out there, is this idea that stories are only for behind the scenes. I love using them for behind the scenes. I think they're kind of a fun opportunity to do these quick little, fun videos wherever you're out and about or doing things or meeting with a client. I think that they're great from that perspective, but don't only do that. Use them as opportunities to also promote all of the other things you're doing. I take every single post that I do, and I also share it on stories. So I either share directly with reels, that generally translates really nicely. Sometimes if it's just a regular, post, I'll reformat it in a story format, just kind of depends, but make sure that everything you put onto your regular feed, right? Whether it's a video or whether it's a reel, make sure that you're sharing those on your stories. That brings me to my fourth tip, which is all about video. There were some metrics that came out recently. I can't remember if it was Hootsuite or not. I think, anyway, it doesn't matter who it was, but they were talking about how video stories are getting a higher level of engagement and sales success than regular stories or even anything else that happens on your regular feed on Instagram. So doing videos, anywhere on social media is incredibly important, but doing them in stories is really essential as well. Now, the challenge with doing them on stories is they're only 15 seconds long. So you either have to create content that's super short, or just know that, let's say you have a reel and the reel is 30 seconds. You can share it onto your stories, but what's going to happen is Instagram will automatically cut that reel in half. Now, let's say you do what we talked about a few minutes ago and you put a sticker on there with a link, let's say to your website where they can sign up for something. It's only going to show on that, whichever one you have open, whichever story you have open at that time. So you may have to go back and sort of edit it and add it. So anyway, something to think about. Just look through as you're uploading your stories. Longer videos will be automatically chopped into these 15-second segments. So you want to make sure that, you're not, it's hard, you don't want to do, you could, I guess, do a 15-minute video or something in your stories. I think people will get a little bit tired of it, but I think for something that's 30 seconds, even up to a minute, it's totally fine to just share that on your stories, even if it gets chunked up, right? As you know, as you're watching stories, they just go right to the next one anyway. And so it's not a terrible user experience. My recommendation is to try to do some 15-second specific videos that are done for your stories. And you can do them as reels for 15 seconds, then share them on your stories. So you know that you're getting a nice little concrete message that they're going to get to see in that one story time frame. So those are your tips for how to maximize your social media on Instagram for today. If you guys want to talk about this anymore, I would love to chat with you. I offer free 20-minute marketing audits where we can talk about all of the things that you do in your marketing. And you know what? Depends on your business, but social media might not be the right thing for you. I know that I talk about that a lot, that social media might not be best depending on your business. But for people who do it, we want to know exactly what to do and what to do well. So that's why I do Q&As like I did today. So I would love to chat with you. I also have a new program. It's called the Joyful Marketing Collective. It is an incredible group coaching program. It's a 3-month program, and then you can renew after that. You meet with me. We do a little mini marketing plan for you, really touch base on your marketing. Then you meet with the group every single week for the next 3 months. It's an incredible group. I've got people who have been in it for 9 months where they just keep renewing and renewing and renewing because we just absolutely love meeting with each other. So it's called the Joyful Marketing Collective. There is information in my bio or on my website, which is sherrysutton.com. And I will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit of a longer session, and we're going to talk about perfectionism, because that is something that I hear all the time, as well as I struggle with myself, is this idea of we have to be perfect every time that we're online or when we're doing any of our marketing. If it's not perfect, we shouldn't do it. So just something, a little preview there. I will probably go live at the same time, 11 o'clock, depending on I'm waiting on one client meeting, but otherwise I'll see you tomorrow. And I will be back at doing this every single Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, starting next week. So if you have any marketing questions, please send them to me. Either direct message me on any of the social channels, or you can email me at sherry@sherrysutton.com. So great to see you guys. Have a fabulous day. Mwah! Bye.